Hey, we're live. We're live with more fucking Feeny Friday. With a PH, of course. The PH is very important. Nobody wants to go to court and see somebody named named Phoenix with an F. I just pop my attorney's badge on. Okay. Now we're ready to go. It's fucking Pafini Friday. Oh right, this is like the little trial, right? Or the little turnabout? The one that's just like one section or something? Turnabout beginnings? Yeah? Okay, well maybe we'll get a whole turnabout done in one stream. Flat Feeny Friday. Yes. Flat fuck Feeny Friday. Live from my bathtub. That's right, baby. The girl. Let her go. Right, we're watching an old western. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Oh. Everybody always tries to take a tiny hostage and never expect to get shot. Doesn't make no sense. Oh my god, is Phoenix in the hospital again? I'm reading through the file in an old case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Terry Falls. Oh my god. Kidnapping, murder, sentence, death penalty. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Wait, so she had her first case and then immediately started, like a year later was just like, yeah, I can mentor this guy. I'm going platinum on Live League. What does that mean? February 16th, 9:24 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Ugh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm gonna die. I never should have accepted this case. Ah! Oh, good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear, I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. A year later, she defended... Oh, that was when they met. Right, okay. It wasn't when she brought him on as an apprentice. Right, okay. I was like, that would be fucking deranged to be like, I've been a lawyer for a year. I can start training other lawyers. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. And he is just hauling that fucking ball. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Can you please stop eating the ball for a second? Are you low on iron? Do I need to get you some supplements? Sorry, I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Yeah, I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you! That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I did kill her. I would never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then, about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Oh, good heavens. I know, we're starting off real fast in this one. Our client is a fucking death row inmate. What was the cop's name? Something Hawthorne? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. Valerie Hawthorne. Seem familiar. I don't know. I don't know if I know anybody named Hawthorne. But I did kill her! She was alive when I left. She was alive! It's true! I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Oh, Jesus. Oh my fucking god. He looks so fucking stupid without his mask. What is this face you're pulling, man? What the fuck? Too many years of drinking 17 cups of coffee struck him blind and unwittingly made him cooler. You're not gonna figure out the truth just by staring at the guy. He sucks ass. Yeah, but that's why I like him. Because he sucks ass. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Huh. That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? Wait, you're telling me that nobody recognizes this guy because he is wearing a fucking just like upper face mask, no rolled R's. Look, I didn't give him rolled R's before I knew he was Diego. I'm not gonna change his voice now. No, no, no. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. The only one who could is the judge? I mean, I guess that's true, and he doesn't remember anything, so that's fair. Imagine an escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. Oh, well, thank you for the follow, Ravinzi. Dementia Udgy. I don't think Edgeworth's... No, Edgeworth did see him, didn't he? He mentioned him, I'm pretty sure. And he didn't recognize him either, but I guess he wouldn't. Because he wasn't practicing law around this time either. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Oh my god, is it Edgeworth? Fucking god. Did this guy get out of high school and start practicing law? As opposed to... as opposed to Little Miss Fool, who didn't even get out of high school first? Really? However, unlike a certain somebody I won't mention, He's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. Aw, hell, I just figured out how to shout out. I'm sorry, I failed as a mod yesterday. It's okay. Last stream? Yeah. Well, we severed you. You don't you don't the streams never end for you. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. Also, why does he have a gold chain? Do they let you have those in prison? That would be scary, especially if like Annie just doesn't know we're dating. Like, hello? And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him. But not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. He's too stupid to have done crimes. I guess, is what we're going with. Oh my god, he's all dressed up in everything. Oh my fucking god. Oh, this is the different judge. I was like, whoa, this guy looks way different. No, this is a different judge. I remember him. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. How do I link your stream? You should just be able to do twitch.tv/Kate6. Should link it easily. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutors everybody's talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. Want to see if Nightbot flags me? No? Doesn't look like it did. Oh, I forgot to, hopefully I remember to whitelist clip links, but I can't remember if I did. So just be careful if you do clip something. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? This is my first case! Why don't you calm down? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to somebody younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? It's his first two? Then how is he regarded as a genius? Precisely. But the defendant's not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death? You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. He got really good tests. They put him in all the papers. He was the best paralegal they've ever had. He could find files like nobody's fucking business. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Good boy gets A. Whole town is proud except Dad. Dad says wasn't A+ considering disowning you. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. Oh, his little baby smug face. It's funny that it's like a different sprite, too. Like, it's not the same face that he makes. Like, he's got like a little, he's got his youthful vigor. He hasn't given up on life yet. Well, if we're going off biological data, I believe his direct host was, ow, oof, my chest, oh no. But that's fair. Yeah. His biological dad was like, "You got an A, huh? Well, if only that A had protected me from that bullet that came out of nowhere." Ooh, I'm a ghost. Ooh. A witness's testimony. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. Literally, why would he do that? There is literally no reason for him to do that. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered, so they can never see the bullet holes that the cop put in them. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. He looks... His fucking... His like, baby prosecutor sprites are so funny. Man, what kind of face are you trying to make right now? Ah, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind. To take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Hey, can you not make the prosecution's arguments for them, man? Why don't you chill out and just be a judge? Ah! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, yes. It's quite obvious the defendant is guilty. Hey, shut the fuck up. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. I really don't want to, though. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. All I was going to do was immediately send your client to prison without a trial. And you don't have to get so upset. Women these days, honestly. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Stop being mean to me this instant, or I'm gonna kill both of you. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. If we have to do a fucking trial, I guess. I call the detective who is in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Oh, young Gumshoe! Oh, you guys are gonna have such a career together. And you're going to ruin him financially. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe! Dick Gumshoe! I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir! I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am! You got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart. It's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Gumshoe, first of all, I'm glad you aged out of this phase. Second of all, Edgeworth, you can't write someone up for contempt. Only the judge can do that. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. This judge would allow it. Oh, no, definitely. Actually, I think I would like to make a pass at the pretty defense lawyer now, too. If you wouldn't mind. That much has already been stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. I mind? I think everybody except the judge minds. Actually, let me check out the autopsy report. Stabbed in the knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Nothing too interesting. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. You guys always have maps. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge and an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. I like the maps. The maps are fun. It's just very funny that every court case is just like, well, we have a map of the scene. Like, we don't just have pictures. We have, like, a topographical map of the area. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I'd like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. What is this fucking face you're shooting? Man, we are in a courtroom, not like a Calvin Klein commercial. Put that away. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into the car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright? Especially for a beginner. Ew. Yeah. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. You got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you got, kitten. He talks like a Metal Gear Solid character. Oh no, 100%. It's just like, man, it's really cold in here. It's like, the courtroom can be a cold and unforgiving battlefield, can it? It's like, no, I think they left the AC on. I think it's a little too low. It's like, geez, fucking Christ, man. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all night watching. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. You're about to be clipped by an alpha with a cold heart. A note? Yeah, a top secret memo that she left in her desk. According to this note, it seems the one who called her at the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect... Don't call him cute! This guy looks like a villain from Revolutionary Girl Utena. February 14th, on Valentine's Day. Okay. 11:21 p.m. Falls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. This doesn't mention the defendant at all. To be fair, he's like 3 months of E away from being the evil T4T lesbian of my dreams. You know what? I'll give you that. That's fair enough. A bridge up in the mountains. But why meet there? Because it's a very important place to the defendant. That's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great! We even got to say, "Don't move, we got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Mr. Falls had a car then? Well, the bridge was way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. What? I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves? Okay. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Clearly, she was taking a nice little nap in there. Naturally, that's how that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Some people like to be squunched up. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Armando! Hello? What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you going men's rights activist over here? We're trying to do law right now. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. That's what he is, though. Detective, is there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Man, I used to think this guy was cool. What happened? Well, he had a cool mask. And he was a goofster about coffee. And that's really all there is to it. Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway, do I see something strange? Oh. I guess the lock mechanism is all fucked up. Remember when the lights went out and his mask was just glowing? Yeah, I do. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. Even though I don't know how to feel about it, he definitely did do that as an action in a very literal sense. It's just what he always says, Your Honor, and then he always says, sorry, I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? Hold it, girl. Yeah, exactly. Hold it, girl mode, objection, girl mode. The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m., and it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kinda close. Any later and Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly and leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not! Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you better get some more information. And if you're gonna get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. Unknown person asked to meet. Oh, she's not wearing the scarf. I'm glad you're taking my career being a serious jeopardy from case 1 seriously, Armando. I'm glad you're taking everything so seriously, Armando. What is that, your fucking 5th cup of coffee in the past 5 minutes? Slow down before your heart explodes out of your eyes and you have to wear like a weird mask or something. Witness! Ooh, what is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. What do you mean? What are you talking about? She's not wearing the scarf. This is the first time I've ever actually had to address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Isn't she in, like, her late 20s? Come on, Mia. Shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective! Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, the special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in the photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. No, Mia, he was gonna say they found it somewhere else. Oh no, I guess he did just stop there. I thought he was going to continue and say, well, we found it in this place. Never mind. The caller told it to wear it to identify herself, so I expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. I mean, Edgeworth, you're deranged. You think Mia is lacking? You're fucking crazy. The scarf you're searching so desperately for, is it this one, perchance? That is a blue scarf. That is a blue scarf. Where'd you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Maybe he's an ass man. Maybe he's into dudes. Why? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. Stop leaning over and looking at me like that. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. I guess. I feel like it's not that hard to find a white scarf. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. I suppose the defendant is colorblind, isn't he? It's like, no, he's not. It's like, well, I mean, it's close enough to white, and I found it's a scarf, and I found it on the mountain. So that's the end of that. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Now, if the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fay? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything's moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. It's because he cheats. Because he fucking cheats at courtrooms, and nobody seems to give a shit because he wears a cravat. A genius, huh? Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. The photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what was going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. They were facing each other on a bridge. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Would it have not fallen into the water? On this rickety-ass bridge? Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It's about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. It's Lotta Hart, of course. Oh, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So, as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. It's just because they don't do that in Japan? Oh, really? I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Ah, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. Yeah, but I don't really want to sit here for another second, so... What do you mean, Who is this eyewitness? How has this judge not been papered? The fuck? I know, he's not even senile. He's just an asshole. She's a college student. A female college student. That doesn't seem possible. They told me I was the only woman to ever go to college. That's right, meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have a right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on a vague testimony of a female college student. Emphasis on female. It's like, can you guys stop being misogynist for a second? Like, just 1 second. A female college student, eh? You don't have to include female every time. It means she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us good reason why. It is Japanifornia. You're true. Yeah, true. It is a place known for its misogyny. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. It's Gumshoe with my car. No, he can't afford medical insurance. Edgeworth hasn't cut his pay yet, but he's going to. He's gonna do it so fast. The victim's wearing a scarf in that photo, all right. So about the witness who took this photo. I mean, Gumshoe's still riding high off of his raise right now. His promotion to detective. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. I mean, Mia would know about that. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo... This cloudy fog-like thing... Is it a ghost? I don't believe it! What cloudy fog-like thing? What are you looking at? I can see... Do you mean the little gray spot at the top where the sky is darker? Because the rest is just like, that's the mountain behind them, that's the mountain in front of them. No, Your Honor, no, I don't think it's a ghost. Drizzling, huh? That's right, there was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Can we lighten it up? Lady lawyer, you wanna lighten it up somehow? Anybody wanna? I have a joke. I could tell a joke. Looks like a cold front just moved in. I guess not. In any case, the point is the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on that bridge. Really was something. I fully almost died. Thankfully, my giant shoulder saved me by catching between two of the wires. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. Dude, you have to stop making the Muppet face. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. What? Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. What? What, just the photo? What do you mean? I don't know what... I put LSD in this coffee. I don't know what to tell you. But that court record, that court record just peed. I can smell it. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. Oh, he spilled his coffee on the court record. Okay. The court record, huh? What about the court record? I mean, I am gonna show the photo and be like, hey, he couldn't have possibly shoved her from behind, but whatever. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. Oh, thank you, thank you for the follow, Peanutters. Hello, Peanutters. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet, too. Hello. Hi. Not to be myself, but this would be so much later if he was being treated like a loser trying to be cool, or a lady, or both. Well, yes, obviously. We all know that. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but... there's something about the testimony that's still bothering me. Is it that they were facing each other on a narrow bridge? Because I'm pretty sure it was about them facing each other on a narrow bridge. Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? The court record? Of course I do. Who's Mr. Crybaby? Who is he talking about? Oh, the defendant? So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer's obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere, hidden in that testimony, is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. I'm gonna disembowel him. Stop. No, go ahead. With the kitten shit. Anyway, that's literally impossible, and this is why. Wait, does that not fucking count? They were facing each other. This evidence establishes that the defendant is lying, right? Wait, the defendant is lying? Don't ask me to confirm your facts. Do you like Godot? I like Godot. I think he's funny. I don't know who this guy is. Sorry, this is my first time handling a case. Well, let's make it a memorable occasion with a penalty. Oh, okay. And here I thought he would go easy on me because I'm new. How would he shove her from behind in this position? How would he even manage that? That's not what I'm presenting? And he's talking about how the court record peed itself. Also, if the scarf fell off on the bridge, it would have fallen into the water, right? I just don't know what to present to prove any of these very obvious issues. That must have been when the scarf fell off, shoved the victim down from behind, and stabbed her in the back. Like, what? I don't even know where to start. Okay, so yeah, there's a contradiction somewhere. Eyewitness. Photo was accidentally taken Which, like, I don't know how they would have taken this. It looks like they're hanging off of the cliff. Scarf in the photo. All the way down in the mountains, taking pictures of wildflowers, ghosts. Push the victim down. Remember to have... Okay. See, I think they're telling me that this is the thing. But I guess I just don't know how... Like, how more to prove that he couldn't have shoved her down from behind except this photo. Well, actually, no, I guess if he shoved her down, wouldn't she be, like, she's not muddy in this picture. Can I crack a joke? I guess it depends. This is a first time message, so I'm just like, sure, I guess. If the joke's not good, the mods will execute you. Just be aware. Can a wire tap, but in April, May. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Mods, don't shoot. She's not muddy in this photo. That's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, okay, so, yeah. He can't have shoved her down because her scarf is muddy from landing on the bridge, but she isn't. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog, too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with this soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions in the scene of the crime, it's so esoteric compared to the obvious they're facing each other on a narrow bridge. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, he shoved her down and stabbed her in the back. It's like, how? When they were facing each other on a narrow bridge so he couldn't get behind her? Was it really just like, she said, oh, okay, I'll just turn around. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. He teleported? Fuck, I always forget he can teleport. You're right. That's my mistake. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. I'm just gonna touch her coat, I guess. Just this whole thing. Also, what happened to Mia's voice for the take that? Get here! Woo! Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. Ugh. That's exactly right. And I thought you were stupid. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy. Okay, suck up. Why don't you get over there and polish his boots if you want to curry more favor? Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? Man, you just showed me the scarf. Like, literally minutes ago. You hid the scarf from evidence to trounce me, and forgot about it. A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Fucking son of a bitch. I'll kill all of you. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. The evidence is this scarf. I fell asleep. Wearing my dress. Yay! I hope you're enjoying it. I tried out wearing my cool leg bag the other day. I need to figure out how to wear it properly. But it's very comfy. I like having a little thigh bag. It should be obvious. If the scarf fell on the bridge and got this muddy, it means the bridge was obviously covered in mud. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Jesus fucking Christ, Edgeworth. Edgeworth, you are also a novice. So the only thing you're saying is that she's a bimbo. Just because she has fatter tits than you. No reason to be jealous. Hey, same to you, buddy. You're a bimbo. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Edgeworth was much more edgy back in the day, wasn't he? And the judge wasn't Santa Claus? No, this is the Canadian judge from before. He's a different guy. Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at the explanation in this, what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Observe how I just make some shit up on the spot. Alright. It's not like he's really giving you a choice here. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. I will punch you. Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim. Like, maybe I am a kitten, but like, shut the fuck up, Armando. None of your business. Or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence. It's one of those three. I already know which one. It's the testimony. We all know it's the testimony. What you said just now. I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. The false evidence in the case is the witness's testimony, obviously. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. Armando, what does that mean? Armando, do you want to think that one over again? Like, it's not just true, it's the truth. Armando, that is the same thing. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. people die when they are killed as. Not only is it a lie, they're lying. Not only is it the truth, it's also true and real, and it did happen, basically. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution had no intention of hiding the witness from the court. Gumshoe got so demoted for this. Well, he clearly didn't. He continues being a detective for the whole series, even though he's being paid like pennies per hour. He definitely got a pay cut, though. Actually, no, I guess Edgeworth isn't the head of the head prosecutor yet, so he can't directly can't directly dock officers' pay. We're prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well, please bring forth your witness at this time. Like, at this point, Gumshoe's an indentured servant. Yeah. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Oh, it's not Lotta Hart. It's this bitch again. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double at a dozen donut holes. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey! Not so fast! Excuse me, witness, is it cool if I have sex with you after this? It's like, hey, judge, can you get disbarred real quick? He, of course, is immune, because he is gay. As I said before, and Mia is also not immune. Mia may be immune, but only because she's committed. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Faye, you could learn a lot from this man. Huh? About what? He's such a gentleman. He sure doesn't act like one to me. He called me a bimbo 3 minutes ago. Sir? Yes, my dear. This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm so sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student. A freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? Ah! How can you be so mean? What the fuck do you mean? It's a very simple question. Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? I'm like fucking 5 feet away from her. I can't leave the defense's booth. I'm holding up the picture. I'm not shoving it in her face. But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this is taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name's Mia Fey. I see. So you're that girl dating Lana Fey, the prosecutor, right? It's like, maybe? Perhaps? Or Lana Sky, not Lana Fey. They're not married. Yet. The judge is too down bad for his own good. My god, how old is this witness? I mean, she's in college. He's definitely too old for her, but, like, she's not like a high schooler, thank god. Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Wait, it says you took the photo accidentally, though. Also, this was a picture of them while they were fighting? And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. Oh, so that's what the rock was. Okay. I was standing in a beautiful field, surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh ho ho, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Small but powerful model, perhaps indicative of its owner. Ace Attorney 3 has least favorite soundtrack because what was that game show lightning round ass music? I know, it really can't stand up to the original Cornered. Alright then, Miss Fey, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. I will throw this hammer at your head, like, defense lawyer. If you make her cry even a little bit. If she stubs her toe and starts tearing up because of it, I'll kill you. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. Oh, I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Would you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. What? It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there, so I decided to watch them. Like some kind of peeping Tom. Oh, okay. This isn't like a scolding. You're a witness. We expect you to have seen it. No, not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. That's why I watch hockey. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. Too much. Were you joinking it while you took the picture? Joinking it? I'll admit, joinking it is a new one. I've never heard that before. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely, Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that? Oh, I just thought maybe you overheard what they said. Oh my fucking god. I would never eavesdrop. I'll watch two random people fight, but I would never listen to what they were saying. I plugged my ears. Like a good girl. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level, you fucking bimbo. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. Yep, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. If someone murdered someone and didn't try to leave, I would never call the police. I'm not that kind of girl. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're gonna have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're gonna have to come up with something really good, Mia. How is this a crucial moment? This is not after they started fighting very clearly. Objection! Witness! When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as the crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see... The photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Doh. Why did he say that? My apologies, young lady, but Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? Mia, that was out loud. He's gonna kill you. I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. The dumb bitch has a point, Pookie. I know she's like a bimbo and all, but I think she had a good idea this time. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? It's clearly on a tripod, Mia. She set a timer. Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. Yeah. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. It seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? This looks like a digital camera. No, I guess it's got the little thing on the bottom where you can insert the film reel. Never mind. Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet.
Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed.
Yes, Mr. Judge.
Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. It looks like the other kitten is in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. Did you say wildflowers? Spring flowers only February. Okay, so they just edited her testimony. Okay, I thought it might be a whole new one, but... The victim... Why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quaggy? Why you... Wait, hold on. I need to look up what quaggy means. Quaggy definition. Resembling a marsh. Soggy. Soft and flabby. What the fuck, Edgeworth? Calling me a fucking swamp woman? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. Would we all be so lucky, Judge? There's still something wrong with this testimony.
She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back.
So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him?
Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her.
That seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, yeah. "5 yards. Yeah, the whole bridge that is walkable is only slightly more than 10 yards. I'm gonna show the fucking bridge. Witness, your testimony is a joke.
Huh? What? But I just...
Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and 2 bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You would say there were 2 contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the 2 of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run... Oh, I didn't even think of that. I was just like, she would have fully made it off the bridge. But never mind. No, she would have fully jumped off the bridge. Well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't even ran 5. Because Dusky Bridges collapsed on that side. Ah! I'm blasted backwards by your coolness. What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Don't call him Mr. Edgeworth. Call him, like, Prosecutor Junior Miles. Mr. Baby. Tiny little baby man. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. Little piss boy prosecutor. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? And it's just like, we repaired that bridge the day before, actually. This diagram is out of date. What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. Mr. Baby is a different Capcom character. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous. You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. That guy's good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward? Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
So what you're saying is she ran 10 yards onto the bridge. The bridge started breaking, and then she ran back and then got murdered? Is that what they're trying to establish? No, it wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? Like, if the bridge was breaking, why wouldn't she just try to make it fully to the other side, instead of running back towards the guy who she believed wanted to murder her? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony?
But it's so hard to go on.
Why are you smiling, then? We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir.
Running from the crime.
After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
The Eagle River is well known for making bodies disappear. Why would he not just throw her in the river? They were on the bridge. He didn't even have to move her. He just had to push. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up.
If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. Have you not drank enough coffee yet? They make a really great mocha latte. Oh, he's talking about my place. Actually, yeah, do stop over. Could always use more customers with a fuckload of money. What do you mean, we big dog? It's my ass on the line. This trial isn't over yet. That's what I like to hear. Alright, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge?
Actually, maybe she did fall.
Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, the photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. Huh, no need to be so rude. You called me a bimbo. And fucking, what was the word he quaggy? Fucking, I don't need to be rude. Well, young lady.
Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could.
We're one step too slow. And then, what did the defendant do after that? You personally witnessed that.
Yes.
Did anything strange happen when he did that?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off.
You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. Except that she couldn't have seen him take her to the car because the cliff was in the way. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself?
Yes.
Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Why not just push her in the river? That's what I've been saying! Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of the talk is just silly. Is that a fact of the matter? I thought we're still establishing facts. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it?
Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there.
But it's February, right? And that would be raining that day, correct?
There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks? They just love cold, isolated places.
That's just not true. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body.
Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face...
So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face?
Well, they were far away, and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw.
Excellent! You're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey, kitten. Have you ever put salt in your coffee? No. No, why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? It doesn't. Listen, my point is if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well, after all. I love that he throws it as like, yeah, also I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that also, in case you're wondering, just to be clear. She wouldn't have been able to see it, but is that worth presenting? It's worth a try, I think. No. The judge advised me, the defense will refrain from wailing on their counsel, just absolutely kicking the piss out of them. Just really kicking their ass bigly. My senior and a rival at the office, a bit smug. A killer not wanting his victim to be found, I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have just tossed the body in the water. Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body in the river. Ooh. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. Judge, the prosecutor is telling me to kill myself now? After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that that is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I'll try.
All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again.
Who is he talking about? All right, I'll do my best.
What did the man do then?
Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police.
And so that's when you called the police? You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Okay, now I present the picture.
Yes, I'm 100% certain.
Now I present this. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time.
Done what?
Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Fay? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes?
Yes, and?
It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. Ugh. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you're standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car.
That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine.
That's clearly not true. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court. Yes. This is the location the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells us the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Oh my goodness. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car, and know it was stolen, and know that he broke in. Order! Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Excellent use of the word ballyhoo. Haven't seen that outside of Homestuck. Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh.
Mr. Judge?
Ooh, what is it?
I think I must have remembered things wrong.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one in the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed, quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I really thought he was going to get the quote wrong. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here, seeing as I am God.
What?
That's not fair. Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando, shut the fuck up. Don't look back until the trial's over. Now's the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that. Wait, are you talking to her? Because you're not looking at her, you're looking at me. Look at the witness. Over there, to your right, the witness is over there. You're gonna have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness?
Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid.
How would you know that?
I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
What? Let me see that photo. Yeah, it's right there. He doesn't regard her as a person, he barely regards you as one. Fair enough. She doesn't even have a law degree, why should I look at her? It's true, those certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied?
Fuck no! The judge is on her side, I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere?
It doesn't work. There's no way she could know that it was broken into. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself.
What?
You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally, I finally got her. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... I mean... either she put the corpse in herself or she's the owner. There's only one way the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Look, no matter if you're if you're not sure totally of what's happening, or any of the explanations could be true, you always go with accusing the witness of murder. Always. They teach that in Law School 101. Yes, what is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one who did that.
I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one to put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used a car key. There was no need to break it open. Oh, that is a good point. I hadn't considered that.
He stole the car.
Yeah, and drove it. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, so the keys were still in there.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Preposterous. To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photos she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. Yeah, do you see an incident occurring right now? Do you see that? Because I don't. Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. It's got a timer, dummy. That is also true. She took a picture of just a meeting happening without anyone getting killed, and also it has a timer. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly. She was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident, before the incident occurred? I'm gonna say over here? Like, near the car, probably? Or directly behind the killer. Or right here, because she was the killer. Cat. Emily. I'm gonna, you know what? Fuck it. We're going all in on accusing this lady of murder. She was the killer, actually. Naturally, the witness was standing right here. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't ask him! Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Miss Fay should do something herself. She should figure out where she stands, if you catch my drift. Oh, don't worry, the drift was certainly caught. Yes, failure is an excellent opportunity for growth. Now try better next time. Hey! Ah, yes. Thank you. Well then, please answer the question. Oh, who's this judge? The Canadian judge? Judge from Canada. I'm gonna say the car. Naturally, the witness was right here, I think. In the spot where the defendant's car was? Yes, she had to put the body in the trunk before the defendant returned. You don't mind if I ask one teeny-weeny question, do you, Miss Fay? Uh-oh, he's got that condescending tone in his voice. If she put the body in the trunk at that time, as you suggest, that must mean that Valerie Hawthorne was already dead at that point, correct? Indeed. Please take a look at the top of Dusky Bridge. It certainly looks to me like the victim is still alive. Am I mistaken? It's just a woman with the same haircut. She's even wearing a hat and hiding her face. And she's wearing a blue scarf. If Valerie Hawthorne was already dead, then who is this? The mountain is famous for spirits, so maybe you think it was the ghost of the victim? Well, it could have been a spirit, right? Miss Faye, don't waste the court's time with this kind of foolish— Ah! Anyway, I still maintain that the witness was in a different place at the time. I'm just gonna save real quick. $20 and access to Craigslist that I could do the save shit easy. Okay, she was standing there at where the victim was supposedly standing. Naturally, the witness was right here. I'm just gonna keep saying shit. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Please say Craig. I said Crag, but it's Craig, right? It's supposed to be pronounced Craig. I just see it and I think Craig. It's Craigslist. Order, order, order. Miss Faye, what on earth? Her hair would be tucked into the scarf. Yeah. The American way to say Craig? Yeah, it's supposed to be pronounced Craig. This is her and she used the timer. Yeah, she impersonated the victim. Craglist sounds cooler. Yeah, I just need to reach into the crags and pull out a list. Your Honor, if I may. Crayfish? Craig? Like Craig? I know that is a correct way to say Craig. I've heard that. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? It's a black and white photo for some reason. By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. Is Craigslist anything spelled that way? I don't think so. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. A place to find eggs. I mean, CR eggs list? Critical eggs list? The list of the most critical eggs? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that met Mr. Falls that day on that bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster.
Me?
Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Oh, yeah. The scarf for identification. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification. Namely, this muddy scarf, which isn't white. I'll remind the court.
Oh.
It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Or should I say, Dahlia, whatever your last name is. Oh, did she run away? Oh, she passed out. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. She should have probably have been arrested. I mean, she should at least have been, you know, there should at least be a bailiff. It is a save Catgirl moment. Mr. Falls like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I want to say thanks, you're really good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information? I remember this is an old title, no autosaves. Yeah, there's no autosaves, and I need to like there's only the suggestion to save between sections. Information. Right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. Like before this remake, if you played one of these games, you also couldn't save at any time. You only saved between the sections. Which was insane. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. But you can skip text, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can, like, speed through text by holding B. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it. Every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same. Just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart. Fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Huh. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any... You sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend? Huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl, let her go! Shut up! Come closer and I kill her! Sorry, but you're not gonna get the chance. Shoots my sister myself. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for kidnapping was crossing the line, but
If it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it.
Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betray me. Betray us.
What do you mean she betrayed you?
Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too.
A make-believe kidnapping?
Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel.
What? Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. How old is this guy?
I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says.
Terry in general is... He's 19? No fucking way. Okay, he's 25. So he was 20 at the time. Look, I would believe that, like, frankly, I've seen more insane depictions of fucking 19-year-olds. What is his name? From JoJo Part 3, the main character. He's supposed to be 16 years old. Yeah. He has the face lines of Wolverine. But yeah, no, Terry's a terrible, like, I feel bad reading these. He's a terrible representation of the mentally ill, just like, fucking the chef in the last case felt like a hate crime. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by...
Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too.
Valerie was in on it?
Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get 1 jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We send to her dad.
I don't even like the French, but that was racist and homophobic. It was fun to do the French accent. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. But, like, very extremely homophobic.
Ask for $2 million diamond. Tell him to make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew
Look, at least he wasn't like the murderer. He was just like kind of a patsy, which, like, okay, sure. He wasn't like a fucking hate crime and also the murderer.
We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh?
Yeah, but that woman!
That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot at me for real, me and Dahlia. Dahlia die instantly. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jump in river.
Jump? You mean she jumped on purpose? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you?
I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over.
And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence.
I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me.
I have a, like, my serious question is, after pulling all of this shit like this, and presumably being caught for it, how does Dahlia go to normal college and go by her actual name? Like, see, I'm very confused. Like, would she not be in prison?
That man, Terry Falls.
Oh, that man, Terry Falls. He killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below.
These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know.
So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself.
Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why.
Dropping frames? Oh, fuck. Yeah, my internet's going wacko right now.
I haven't dropped a whole lot of frames, but my internet's tanking right now. Or at least it's not stable. Dude would get a racketeering trafficking charge if worst if he wasn't pinned for this. I mean, he would have gotten, like, yeah, he would have gotten fraud or something. Have you never played a game before you play it and information is revealed? Okay, internet's back, it looks like. So if you still are having issues, make sure to refresh. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls. Where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. He didn't say it was a diamond. He said it was a gem. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? Also, to be $2 million completely uncut is insane. This thing must be fucking enormous. I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River. Not too hard to build yourself a new identity if you're fucking loaded. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? I know I keep soy-jacking and reacting every time he opens his mouth, but I can't help it. He's insufferable. So true. Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Stop saying that. Stop saying that right now. Your teen angel. How old was she anyway? Just 14. Yeah, so she'd be 19 now. He was a 20-year-old dating a 14-year-old. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and she's 19, of course. Kept that shit consistent. I guess we were robbing cradles before diamonds. Problematic alert. Just put it on the pile. There... We've dealt with shit like this before, and that was from fucking someone who was we were supposed to believe was like a totally innocent bystander and not creepy at all. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth $2 million. Man, oh man, angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel? Is she really it's too terrible for me to even say. I couldn't say devil. Not in this children's video game. It's time, kitten. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You gotta strike while the iron's hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Armandrew Tate. I'm just gonna let that sit there. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
Greatest circus case? Yeah, they really were just like, there's nothing weird or problematic about this. Anyways, it was the disabled guy, in case you're wondering. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try and pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. How old is the witness? She's 19. What possible reason would a girl like her have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? And has Falls seen her? I don't think Falls has been in the courtroom, no? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Surely he would recognize his own child girlfriend. Probably. Yes, of course. I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Finally, she says it.
Excuse me. May I speak, Mr. Judge?
Where's his visor? He doesn't have it yet, I assume. Okay, well, actually, no. This isn't even Godot. This is Armando. They're two totally different people. Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. Do not call yourself Mr. Judge.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
Kill me? Real? I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her. Click. She lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Melissa Foster's history.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I'd never been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing an officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
Well, if you weren't in the country, how do you know about the kidnapping? Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. Melissa faked her own death. It's Bulgarian. So, what country were you living in then?
We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed.
It was a brutal civil war. She had to try and make her way back home alone.
I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification.
What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details? I'm just gonna save every time I do something that could kill me. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Objection! Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case.
I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne.
Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony?
Yes, please, Mr. Judge.
You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people.
Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct?
Yes, it really was a coincidence.
So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway?
I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing.
You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to.
Well, I went there once with a college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess.
Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent.
Thank you. She's really gone too far.
By asking you what college you go to? Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car.
Well, that's...
Oh, Edgeworth is on the ropes here. He's objecting to literally everything I say. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at that time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. Huh, that's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair.
That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day.
A grudge?
Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death.
Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such a deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges.
He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
What do you mean by that?
Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well.
Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What do you mean by that?
Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right?
Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification.
Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day...
She said fucking white scarf, killer.
Then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Fall's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? It has to be added to the testimony. She said white scarf, killer. Your Honor, what the witness just said now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. Also, I love the idea of adding stuff to the official testimony, as if a court reporter is not supposed to be just typing down literally everything that is said. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer, and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why Enough. Witness, if you would.
My pleasure, Mr. Judge.
The court recorder just does a really deep sigh and starts a new page.
What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone's wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said,
then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Huh. Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, what are you talking about? Keep looking around you, you're gonna lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Anyway, I'm just gonna save real quick, because I'm pretty sure this is what I need. Like, she just fully was just, like, putting her ass out here. It's true. Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, "Wear white scarf for identification." Yes, what about it? Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it the witness knows about it? Order, order. It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. It must have been Gumshoe. I'll kill him. In that case, the only way the witness could have— Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just, I saw it when it happened. Bitch, she was wearing it was a blue scarf. It wasn't white. You fool. You colorblind asshole. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. What if she is colorblind? I'm pretty sure blue-white colorblindness is not a thing. At the very least, even if you were colorblind, you would be able to tell it wasn't white, because it would look brown, I'm pretty sure. And saturation in color is able to be noticed by people who are colorblind, even if they can't tell the exact color. Come on, Mia, you can't let her weasel out of it that easy. Witness, sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true. That's what I saw. Impossible. There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. You've said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Is something wrong? That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. Ugh. I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, I'd go with periwinkle, I think. It certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew the contents of the note? No! It says, wear white scarf for identification. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster? Who keeps hitting her with a fan? There shouldn't be a giant fan in this courtroom. Order, order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? Do you think there's someone getting all hard at the idea of being objected to? I'm sure there's someone who just plays these games for the sexual thrill. That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of this note was... Reading the note... Talk to Dahlia. Yeah. And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There's her name right there. What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Fay must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off of Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Can you think of anyone in this room who's 19, Edgeworth? Why don't you take a look at the court record, you dumb fuck? Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are. I can untrim. I don't have a beverage with me, though. How am I gonna hydrate? Oh, God. Even you couldn't... Miss Faye, you're not saying... But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is, in fact, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? In his bitch era. His bitch era is never ending. But this is where he's in his little bitch era. Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. What? But unless you can tie all the loose ends together. You're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. Is that different from a normal arsonist? I don't think there are different charges. I think that would put the fire out. It probably would. Do you think she does that hair flip shit when she goes on dates with Lana and says something clever? Oh, 100%. And she's like, oh, Mia, where are we going? And Mia just, like, flips her hair. She's like, I have reservations. At your favorite restaurant. And Lana, like, recoils like she's on the witness stand. Armando, you're kind of stupid. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Me guessing Armando is related to Godot. He is almost certainly Godot. He dressed almost exactly the same and has the same face. He just doesn't have the mask on. But I've been pretending it wasn't him. I'm pretending this is a totally different guy. I mean, I believe it's a totally different guy. It definitely is. Just because they both like coffee and dress exactly the same and talk the same. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? I'm... I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. The judge asked you a direct question, but tell him to fuck himself. We always do that. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Huh, looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No, wait, but then why? That's why he was blocking every chance for you to fucking ask about her background, obviously. If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't gonna say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to... the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But I thought she died 5 years ago. Well, we can take murder off. We could retroactively take this guy off death row, I guess, since we know that Dahlia isn't dead. At the very worst, we could charge him with attempted murder. We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute! For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of a victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder. Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. Hopefully no one ever does this again, especially not against me, because it's really fucked up. At any cost. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. Her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would the witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. Yeah, how about just the really big gem that we know about? You don't have to push me there. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. That wasn't me. That was this guy. This crazy coffee addict. I love that Armando isn't even here as an advisor. He is just another defense attorney who is here to fuck with me. I think we heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Huh. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. And by all rights, I should be sweating in this fucking outfit. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me? The rashness of youth. How charming. He is older than you. We are both older than you. It's coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye, what motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? Big Rock. What is this? Is it the defense's idea of a joke? If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye? Oh, that was the rashness of youth. The rashness of youth? And what's your point in further... No, you son of a bitch! Are you telling me that the big rock wasn't... You didn't give me a chance to save, you son of a bitch! Damn you, Armando! Fucking Armando. Oh my god, when was my last save point? Oh my fucking god. Okay, this. Fast forward through the dialogue. Like, at least it wasn't the beginning of this part of the trial, but Jesus Christ. I've been one mistake away from failing this whole fucking section. Just gonna speed on through. And that should be the last thing before Armando says that we have evidence, and that's what I'm gonna save. Yeah, keep doing your animations. Come on, let's speed it along. Okay, they tell us that she's Dahlia Hawthorne. Okay, stop. Just keep going. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna save. So we don't have to do all that again. Actually, I'm gonna save here, so we don't have to do the extended, like, gavel strikes noises. Heard enough from you, calling a boy, moment of truth, rashness of youth. Okay, now we're right on top of it, so I'm gonna save one more time. Just really lowering the amount of time. There we go. What motive could this witness have for murdering her own sister? I really thought the rock was what they wanted. But I guess I haven't connected it to Dahlia yet. Even though it says it was lost in the Eagle River, like, in addition. Oh. So the truth didn't come out. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Okay. Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne, and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. The Big Rock. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things. Such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Ugh. Very well, I'll grant your request for further testimony. Also, did they not combine... Yeah, they didn't combine their profiles. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf?
Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge.
Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles.
"5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm.
Call me womanly wily coyote. I think I saw art of somebody drawing a bunch of Looney Tunes characters as trans women fucking a while ago on Tumblr.
That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money, so I decided to change my identity and start a new life."
With what money? The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe, after all that, she murdered her sister. Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye?
Yes, Your Honor?
As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. No. Pass. I'm gonna start kicking her. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. Okay, you don't have to tell. It was like 5 minutes ago. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes. As a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. Okay. Sure. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut. It was about the size of a pint of milk. Oh my god. That is fucking enormous. A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? He doesn't know because his milk is back. I don't know what to think about a milk that is in a hard form. I don't quite get it. If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. Terry seemingly has zero socialization. Yeah. Like, she was 14, sure, but I doubt this guy graduated. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... That was a dangerous thing to do considering you're being held hostage. Yes, but actually that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, then he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin? Ooh. And in the next instant... I advise the court remember that the river's 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run, and just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. Ahem. And that's why you hid your identity? Yes, I only told my sister. Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes, she's the only one who knew about me.
Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years.
I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again.
Witness, stop. Witness, stop meowing. That won't save you. Shut up. Stop it. Stop. No.
And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of.
That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible.
She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could.
It's the moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. I've just gotta prove the kidnapping was a hoax. Alright, what do we got? $2 million gem lost into Eagle River. A Jezebel? Yeah. Like a seductress. I don't know where it comes from specifically. It's not like a common thing to call someone. Bridge unchanged for 5 years. Obviously, I'm gonna save because I'm not sure what the game wants from me right now. Might be kidnapped again for my family. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when he tried to kill her by shoving her off the bridge from behind. Bridge on chain. Oh! He wouldn't have been able to push her off. Because there's so many fucking, like, things. I'm gonna try that. Shoving someone off this bridge would not be easy. No, I'm fucked. No, let me save. No, let me save. No, I want to load. Fuck. God damn it. I wanted to load, but they cut me off before I could do it. Ransom price was a raw diamond. Brought it to the bridge, made the exchange, shot Mr. Falls in the arm. Tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Turned to try to run away, tried to grab me. He had locked eyes, gave me a large bloodthirsty grin. And the next instant, she fucking fully ate it off the bridge. Oh, she might have jumped through the bridge where it was fucking broken. Oh my goodness, some kind of beverage has been delivered to me. To try and stoke my brain coals. Delicious hot chocolate. Only Hawthorne, only one who knows. How did she make the exchange if both his hands were full? Why do you think she wanted to make them exchange up in the mountain? Is one of the things like they say he's wickedly clever, and then I just show them a picture of him, and it's just like, you remember who we're talking about, right? Like the mentally disabled person caricature is who we're talking about. I could always try and just present the diamond. No, that's not a contradiction. Was he wickedly clever or cleverly wicked is the real question. That's an excellent point. Okay, if he tried to shove her off through the broken parts of the bridge, she would have landed on rocks. Worth a shot, I guess. There we go. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you had claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been dashed upon the rocks below. A most certain death. I pushed her, it was me. Teeps, you have to stop trying to take the fall for every murderer in every video game. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? It was more or less of a push and more of a judo hip throw. Do you have any idea how hard it would be to hip throw someone who's below your, whose height is below your shoulder? Fucking insane to try. The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Hit her with a fan again. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witness had testified, then the defendant couldn't have put the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this?
You see,
Just a moment, Your Honor. I'm gonna work this one out. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated she fell from the back end of the bridge.
What do you mean?
After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Don't prosecute me for murder. I'm just such a I'm just a silly little girl. Come on. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. And then I present the picture of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
Now that you mention it, I do remember now. When I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires.
You can't be serious. Order! Order in the court. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. I'll keep assaulting you until the day I die, you son of a bitch. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. I can't save, so I hope this is right. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Edgy about to say a gamer word. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. Hit her with the fan again. But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. He could have shoved her fragile little body straight through the wires, filleting her instantly. Wires like that wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. I mean, maybe with both hands. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. There's just a bitch in the audience blasting her intermittently with a high-power fan. Yeah, exactly. Ugh. This is the case that turned Edgeworth gay for all the wrong reasons. He was like, I'm really into bimbos. But then that bimbo kicked my ass up and down the street, and now I like men. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge. That is clearly impossible. Also, I wouldn't call Edgeworth a twink. The guy's built like a wall. Like every other dude in this series. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What the fuck was that noise? What? Why did the judge make a fucking dinosaur noise? Grrr. He's weirdly wide for someone who doesn't work out. He's like 90% shoulders. Either that or he builds shoulder pads into every one of his suits. Especially in the first game, his sprite is like fucking Kingpin from Spider-Verse. It's crazy. Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide.
He learned from Von Karma. It's like, the wider you are, the further the facts will have to go to get around to you. Remember this, Edgeworth. Franziska can never achieve the level of wide that we can.
Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river.
Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump in the river?
The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River, Big Rock. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond.
Franziska couldn't live up to her father's standard of wideness and became a lesbian power top to cope. See, now we're really getting somewhere. Ugh! No! It can't be!
Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was gonna keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river.
It only works until she met Maya, who's just a silly little guy. Exactly. The pure and trueness of a silly little guy can break through even the steeliest exterior. No matter how many times you say fool, your heart still beats quicker every time she smiles stupidly at you. Every time she asks you for a burger and expects a dumpling instead for some reason. Order, order.
Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. Well, I'm glad you finally figured out how to say it. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. The Adrian, Maya, Franziska poly goes crazy. Who's Adrian?
You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well?
But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder.
The girl Edgeworth told to kill herself last game? Oh, right, Adrian Andrews. I don't know, I feel like Franziska wouldn't be interested because as soon as she, like, cracks her... I mean, no. Adrian was pretty willing to get under Franziska's thumb. What do you mean by that?
On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do.
Planning to do?
She was going to tell the whole truth as she wrote in her note. Fuck my whole case. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatch your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk.
And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Who is that laughing at a time like this? Bitching aside, I really like Dahlia's design and silhouette. She's a really good character. I actually like her a lot. Forgive me. It's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. Mia's like, okay, well now I'm getting a little turned on. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey, I'm saving. I'm gonna get owned. I just know it. I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof that of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? Mia, help! Oh wait, no, fuck, that's my job. Damn it! That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Huh. Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with him. That's quite literally not how it works. I don't know, it seems like in this courtroom, if you're a lawyer, you really can just make up your own rules. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? I mean, the defendant, I guess, unless it's her herself. Crossing my fingers. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only... Also, I'm pretty sure that, like, it is weirdly rare in these games for the defendant to provide any testimony whatsoever. Whereas I think that's kind of what sets the standard in most court cases. There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. Yeah, I went out to the lobby, and it turns out Terry Falls fully got killed out here. That kind of sucks. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what's your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand.
It's my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. At least I'm not talking to a fucking parrot. How embarrassing would that be?
Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million.
That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia! It's true. You're alive! Fucking switches places via magic.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Dahlia. I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. I'm sorry, I apologize. Water, please, water. Can't talk, need water.
Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. What do you mean it has to be your coffee instead? Are you telling me this courthouse doesn't have water? At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Everybody say it with me. Bitter. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Can you stop chewing on the ball, please? That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked. Then she left. That was Valerie.
Not my Dahlia. Shoes on a ball, so I have to do a voice like this?
Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Every testimony has a cross-examination. Shut the fuck up. Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination. Thank you, Judge. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? Well, I mean, he shouldn't have the death sentence anymore because she's very obviously alive. He did not commit murder. He might get life in prison for fucking, for attempted murder, but he did not commit murder. There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think. I'm fairly certain. I'm pretty sure. Just gonna say real quick. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? Every time he says kitten, I want someone to beat him with a bat. Unfortunately, this is the legal system, so he has to die for it so they can save face anyway. Oh, fuck, you're right, I forgot. It was raining. Already dark, too. You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls? Eagle Mountain. That spot.
Strong memories. Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like the blink of an eye. You were watching the car. That bridge. Other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remembered her face. Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry. I told a little lie. But that woman I met, she was different from the woman staying here now. She was different. It was Valerie. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied, got me the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, stop saying that, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead. After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was 5 o'clock. Really, like, just ask him what color her hair was. That's literally all you have to do. Was it red or black? That's it. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman, it wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs be said? Even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her. Won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls, even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. 4:30 we had that bridge. There's one of these that she said there was a contradiction. Arrived early, waited at the bridge for 30 minutes. Watching the car. Something's bothering... Okay. So it was... I washed my car from bridge. I never put no body in that car. Stopped the car, was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, waited on the bridge. Watched my car from the bridge. I never put a body in there. One woman came, she stood in front of me, talked, and she left. I'm gonna try and show the photo of the car? Of the trunk, I guess? No, no dice. Did you cycle all the way through? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm fairly certain I pressed everything. Arrived early. It was raining and dark. Oh! He told her to be there at 4:30, but arrived at 4. Maybe that's something. I don't know. No, nothing. No, 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 no. Stop, stop. Load. Don't make me go through the menu again. Watching the car. Other side's broken, nobody can come from there, so I was watching the car. What else are you expecting me to do? Obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. A contradiction. Oh! Yeah, his back was to the car in this picture. That's what it was. He's facing the other way in the picture. So she was already there. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Oh? I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Fay. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Yeah, dumbass. That's what I'm saying. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Noises. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge? Save Catgirl? Okay, sure, I can do that. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other... You couldn't have gone to the temple because it was on the other side of the broken bridge. We know this. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love.
A memento?
5 years ago, I hid it under base of tree there. It's a special— this fucking locket again! With the bottle! God damn it! It's the same memento she fucking gives Phoenix later! This bitch is crazy! It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento? I love that he immediately recognizes it as a bottle. It looks quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock, but he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? Uh-oh. That's enough. Please. Did he drink the poison in the necklace? Witness? I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. Jesus fucking Christ, man! No! Stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess! It's why he needed some water? Oh my god, is it? I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No, we're so close! Just a little more! I was gonna prove your innocence! No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Falls! Mr. Armando. Why are you talking to him? Thanks for the coffee. Oh, that's why. Damn it, Armando, you stupid bastard! Mr. Falls! Armando has contributed one meaningful thing to this courtroom, and it is killing the defendant by giving him coffee. And so, my first trial ended. Suddenly, and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. This worthless, smug bastard has ruined yet another life. When will his crimes end? If only he hadn't fucking tagged along. Because apparently this courthouse doesn't have any water, so if he hadn't tagged along, he wouldn't have gotten to kill himself. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought it'd never heal. He didn't even need to— there was no reason for him to be here. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, men when they're bored. Yeah, what's the question, Melody? Hit me with it. Have you played or are you planning to play Of the Devil? I played episode 0 on stream during one of my Next Fest nights, and I desperately want to play the new episode, but I'm extremely low on money right now. So I've been kind of faffing on it. It was so cool. I do really like Of the Devil. It's very, very cool. She left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face.
I can't believe I missed all those shots. Fuck my life, dude.
What are you smiling about? Unforgivable. That witch. If you're interested, we take donations. We do, of course, take donations. I do. My Steam wishlist is, of course, also public. If you don't want to do a donation and just want to buy it instead, this is not directed at anyone in particular. If you want me to, if anyone wants me to play a game on stream, the most effective way to get me to play it is to get it for me, like, on Steam or whatever fucking platform. Mr. Armando, we were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. What do you mean? You're the one who gave him coffee. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. No, it isn't. Don't cry, kitten. You're gonna make my coffee all salty. Eat shit, man. Fucking smashes this mug over his head. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Fucking, he's ruining this girl's life. Fuck. Mia. Don't fucking turn on the jazz now, you asshole. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Oh, okay. I respect it. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. He's such a smarmy asshole. I love how much I hate him. I love how much of a dipshit this guy is. It's so funny. Mr. Armando? You're fucking bleeding all over the table. Oh fuck, I'm passing out. My vision has gone all film grainy. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away, and eventually forget them. He then died of total renal shutdown. And then years later, some random guy with a mask fucking shows up. One year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Baby Phoenix got owned. And Mia saved him, of course. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. And she ascended into the sky. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was... guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect, angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Dahlia shot me in the chest and put me in the hospital. That's the end of Turnabout Beginnings, and the perfect time to end the stream. Bridge to the Turnabout. That was a really good one. I really appreciate the open and shut sort of, like, real quick turnabout for a stream. Being able to get a whole turnabout in one stream is kind of wild. Awesome. That's not a charge. That's the verdict. What did she get charged with? You have so little to learn. If you're pronounced guilty, they just shoot you. Everybody knows that. Anyway, who is streaming right now? Oh, shit. Level 1 Cleric, a frequenter of this stream, is currently streaming Psychonauts, which we all fucking enjoy, so perfect timing. I appreciate you all stopping by and sticking around for the stream. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. On Sunday, we'll be returning to my beloved Voices of the Void. And I hope to see you there. Bye-bye. Have an excellent night and an excellent weekend.